What's up, guys? It is Maxwell, and today it's finally happening. We have him on the channel, the man that I promised to interview for you guys for so long, my fellow War Whales co-leader, and in my opinion, the best Townhall 9 to ever play Clash of Clans, TDH. So let's ask him a couple of questions, shall we? Welcome to the video, guys, and also finally welcome on the channel, TDH. How are you doing, man?
I am doing good. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure. This has been a much anticipated video, as I'm sure you know. So let's get right into it. First of all, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about TDH himself, and later, of course, we're going to share tips on attacking, all that good stuff. Also, we're actually going to be breaking down one attack one by one in the end of the video. If you're looking for that, I'll have a timestamp for that in the description as well. So, yeah, your streak. You've had a pretty crazy streak before. First of all, how many consecutive 3-stars did you actually get?
Okay, so last streak was a total of 90 triples or 45 six-packs back-to-back, whatever way you want to look at it.
Wow.
0 scouts. Yeah, it persisted through all the giant huts and shrink traps and whatever. Those were extremely annoying.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I almost already forgot that. Like the funny Christmas updates or whatever that was supposed to be with giants in the builder huts and shrink traps and that stuff. Damn.
yeah, it was crazy, and you couldn't even plan for it. And I went in fresh. 79 out of the 90 triples were fresh.
Damn, that's definitely really sick. I don't think that has ever matched. And after that, you had another one. I think about half the length as well, right? How long was that one?
Yeah, it was 49, but
49. All right, but you
yeah,
were not quite happy with that.
well, it didn't reach the goal, so
So after this, like these couple of crazy runs that you've had, what's your goals now? Do you want to have another streak, or what are you looking for?
I just want to not fail, really.
Okay.
That's basically what I prioritize. I think we all do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, some more than others, I guess, but like to some, it's more important. And that sort of leads me to my next question already. How long do you think you're planning on average? Like, I'm sure there's going to be differences. Some attacks are probably going to be a little bit faster. Some are going to take longer. How long do you think you plan on average, and what does that depend on your planning time?
All right. So in the streak, all 90 hits were the TDH, and you usually don't plan for too long because the Lalunian portion is generally YOLO, so you can cut off the planning on the air portion. You just safely plant the queen charge, and about average, I would say 30 minutes, maybe 45. The first hit is usually faster than the second hit because, you know, in War Whales, you come online 1 hour after the war started, 90% of the nines are cleared or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will not really get to six-pack at this rate. You need to use the first hit earlier, but the second hit, so the first hit may be 30 minutes, the second hit 1 hour, 45 minutes maybe.
All right, I definitely know that that's a lot longer than a lot other Townhall 9s are planning their attacks. So maybe that's for those who try to emulate this type of performance. Maybe that's already something to think about for you guys. Like, are you willing to put that effort in? Yeah, it's tough
Yeah,
because
just for Townhall 9.
yeah.
So long.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people don't plan their Townhall 10 attacks or 11 attacks that long. Yeah, I think it's tough in War Worlds because for the second base, you'll almost never get to choose. Like you'll have to take what's left, basically, right?
Yeah, and I'm a fresh hitter, and usually there's like one cleanup base left or
Yeah.
one fresh base, and you don't really get to be picky. I just
All right. So that actually like elevates it even further. I think maybe that it would be easier to have that streak or that type of a streak in another clan. All right, that's definitely pretty cool. Um, And you right now you said in your 90 triple streak you only use the TDH tech. For those of you us that don't know, of course we're gonna have a bunch of TDH replays in the background. That's basically a Queen Charge Lalunian. And what's the reason that you have trusted that attack so much?
For starters, I think it's just the right army. Um, Queen Charge Lalo, I noticed it often times out, and if you go for like a semi-mass minion, that would be like 40 plus minions, 40 between, yeah, 40 and 60 minions. That's about right. You don't have enough loons. There's like an archer tower remaining, and it kills all of your minions. I noticed that a lot, but the TDH attack is just the right balance between having cleanup and actual Lalo. So,
All right.
and the consistency is, yeah, I don't think anyone has reached such a streak yet. I'm not sure, but
I definitely haven't heard of it.
yeah, it was only using this attack. So
Yeah, that's
I'm not.
definitely.
I didn't really want to change something that works. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I guess it's also like knowing the attack so well also gives you confidence, I guess. But recently, from what I've watched you do, you have switched it up a little bit. You have used some other attack strategies, like quite a lot actually. I think recently almost 50% of your attacks have not been TDH. And what's the reason for that you are now switching and also using other armies?
Okay, so up until now, as I said, since something isn't really broken, I had 100% hit rate. I didn't change it, but around October, I think it was, when I started noticing AI changes a lot.
In the Queen?
Something the most, not specifically even the queen, like even balloons, even bowlers, like you're putting a bowler and it may skip the closest building to take on a weird route and shoot another building that isn't even closest to it. So you can't really plan that. And I noticed in queen charges, especially in queen charges, your queen, instead of continuing in her route like one tile to shoot the next building, she will take some crazy reroute of about 20 something tiles to the other side of the base, and that really ruins consistency. So I opened up uh, more strategies.
All right.
Mostly main attack heavy. I don't like stoned entries. I like CB or just quad Lalo. I think it's best to go for a small value and rely on the main attack.
Okay. And but like overall, from what I see, you're still using mainly or almost only air attacks. Why is that? Is that just a preference or?
Yeah, I have always been an air attacker, so it always worked for me. I
Or
can use ground. I mean, you have seen me use ground once
yeah.
before, but air is like my specialty, so I just stick to it.
Yeah, that's nice. For example, at Tunnel 10, like when I attack at Tunnel 10, I feel like Lalo is more consistent also than Hawks. Like with Hawks, I feel like spring traps or ground skeletons or whatever can mess you over, and there's still way more ground skeletons than air skeletons. So I don't know. Maybe
And
that.
also, everyone is trying to defend hawks. That
Yeah.
makes it harder.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I have a little bit of a strange question, maybe. I have noticed that sometimes you don't use wall breakers. What's your general thoughts on wall breaking? Don't use test wall breakers. I mean, like, how many layers are you looking to break to? I guess that consistency is a big thing for you in queen charging at Town 9. Is it that you say I do one layer or two layers? Like, of course, most of the time, at least two layers. And what's your thoughts on test wall breakers? That would be interesting.
Okay, the reason I sometimes don't test is because I just rage the wall breakers, and if the small bump is like 2 tiles away, it should still not kill the wall breakers in time, and you will still open the wall. So it's safer to not miss the timing and just go without a tester if you're raging the wall breakers. That's why I usually don't test unless
Yeah.
it's like a really sketchy entry, like a very far spawning range, and Teslas could pop and such, and you might need a tester.
Yeah.
I generally don't rely on triple layer breaks. It's okay to rely on first layer break and double layer breaks, but do not, if your plan is I have to triple layer break, that's you will not be consistent with that.
All right.
So aim for one layer or two layers, and the three golden rules of the TDH, you can put it in the description. I can send it. They are designed to bail you out in case you failed a triple layer break. But if you get like the first layer or the second layer, you will be safe because the queen should beat on a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's about it.
what's the other golden rules of the TDH?
Never use the kiwi to make your queen go the right way. The kiwi is always used to make sure that when it is time to break into the base, your king completes the funnel. So your queen will not really take some weird route and, I don't know,
Yeah.
enter the base and then hop out or like stick on the outside. And rage the wall breakers and always have her like semi-funnel the base. Like have her walk an hour on the map. So if she starts on 12, don't break in at 12, break in at least 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty interesting what you mentioned about the kiwi walk that you always use for the second half of the funnel, because previously you've also told me that your funnel should always be so good that even if your wall breaker fail, the queen still beats through the wall for the core of the base, just because she can't go anywhere because she has funneled one side to herself and the second half is funneled with the king and the wizards,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I mean, nowadays with the AI, I have seen some insane cases. If I showed screenshots, it would never end. She would like go from the core in a full circle outside the base, rerouting like 20 something tiles. But generally, that doesn't happen.
Okay. Um, then one more question here before we start breaking down this attack, or maybe two more. Um, if you could share three, of course, we've now had the three golden rules of the TDH, but if you could share three tips in general for successful attacks in war, what would those three tips be?
Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so don't hit personal. I've seen like some cases people are like, oh, this person talked shit about me, so I will hit them specifically. No, no, no.
Yep,
We're
I've
not
done
doing
that
that.
before.
Don't do weird things like that. That is exactly the reason the first three ended. Just so you know, I was like, well, Prince of Dubai is my one of my best friends in Clash, and I never actually got to war against him. But one time, it was like an inter-family scrim. I said, okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna hit Pod because he's my best friend,
yeah.
and you know how that ended. So never really hit personal. The second thing I would recommend is prioritize main attack heavy strategies. So like Stone Hobo is great, but it's a kill squad heavy attack. You don't get too much control. You have only like 14 hogs.
Yeah,
But
or
if you like
16.
go
Yeah.
for if you go for like quad Lalo or CB Lalo, the value you are expecting is very small. You will not really you are very you are a lot less likely to make a mistake with how much value you expect your kill squad to get.
Uh-huh.
So and both the main attack troops, the Hawks and the Balloons, are just so strong right now, and they are reliable. So rely on them. Quad Lalo, CB Lalo, CB Mass Hawks, Suicide Hero Mass Hawks. You know the list goes on.
Mhm.
Main attack heavy. Um, and then okay, about queen charging. I don't care how safe you feel your funnel is. I mean, it has to be safe, but never go in without a plan for in case your queen goes the wrong way. If she goes the wrong way, the AD will pick the healers off and something like that. That's you're doomed basically. So always make sure you're fine either way. We can see more about that when we break down the attack. That's a perfect example.
All right, that's actually what we are going to do right now. So, guys, we'll be right back when we get to check out TDH's attack together and talk about it. Okay, guys, time to break down an attack. This time we've got TDH attacking Nox Skywalker of WHF. So, TDH, what was your thoughts on this one?
Right, so for starters, this is a cleanup, so I know all the Teslas. I usually don't clean up, but this base was quite annoying. I'm pretty sure it went 17 out of 20, 99 that war, and all three fails on this base, so props to Nox Skywalker for a really nice base. I started the queen at 12 o'clock, and delaying the healers a bit, I don't know what angle she's gonna go. And there is no damage, so no problem with that. This is why you see me delaying the healers. There is actually a Tesla slightly left of the AD at 12 o'clock to ruin funnels, but I'm going to funnel that side anyway because whichever way the queen goes, if she goes left, I can still kivy the elixir pump and I will still get a ton of value. I will first layer break into the cannon, double layer break into the X-bow, and just try your luck with the third layer. Sometimes it works and it's like, whoa. And sometimes it fails, but you're still fine because the Kiwi will make a huge funnel. So yeah, the golden rules will always bail you out. The queen is starting at 12, so I cannot break in at 12. That's the third golden rule. Make sure she goes the way you want, and she cannot reroute back. That's when you start the Kiwi. She went in this case to 1 o'clock, so we just broke in 1 o'clock, and there I didn't need to test the 2 o'clock archer towers for another layer break because it's a cleanup and I knew there is no small bump. Yeah, whichever way the queen goes, I will be fine. This is why this plan was so safe. Whatever happens, I can just adapt. And that you will notice there is a triple layer break into the cannon on 3 o'clock, but that was more like YOLO. You don't really plan on that. If it works, it works. If it fails,
Yeah.
well,
And
you'll be fine.
And something you told me all earlier as well is never start the queen at a non-walkable air defense because you could lose healers. So that's why you're not
Yeah,
starting at 2 o'clock, for
never,
example.
never start a queen walk in the same hour on the map as a non-walkable AD that can reach outside the base. So in this case, there is only one AD like that. That would be 2 o'clock. So never start a queen charger. You can start anywhere else, basically. And if the queen goes the wrong way with such an entry, then the AD could kill the healers and you cannot do too much to stop it. That lowest consistency. I strongly recommend against it.
Okay, so I'd say let's start the replay in 3, 2, 1, start. And then we'll pause
Alright.
at some point to explain some more.
Alright, as you can see, the wizard is funneling. I'm waiting with the healers to make sure the AD doesn't shoot them. Okay, so the queen is going right, so that's safe now. But I couldn't drop the kiwi before that.
Yeah.
Alright, the wall is broken. So far, so good. I remember the CC was kind of strange on this one, no baby drag. And some minions are taking off percentage. That's usually for getting 51% of the base on a fresh hit to pop the Tesla so you can Lanunian properly. You don't have too many loons. But in this case, I just liked it for the pathing. So yeah, the witch comes out. No baby drag, so I don't even need a rage or ability. Very efficient there.
We
Now
pause it
just
one
wait.
more.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So triple layer break. I kinda waited to see what happens. Okay, so in this case, I thought the wall is broken. Let's pause.
All
I
right.
thought that the wall is actually got 99% damage by the wall breaker, so I kind of expected the queen to just shoot this wall once and got the core. That way I would swag a hound at least, but yeah, she walked outside. But it's fine. I mean, either way, she is going to take down the air defense. I am on 46 seconds, by the way.
Okay.
She's gonna take down the AD. I recommend not really addressing too much where the sweepers are. Just prioritize where the air targeting defenses are. Use the hounds to pass through them. You will get a very good flow, and you will take them down with loons surgically. I always go light on the loons. They will not get to do much damage, and the minions will just, one way or another, will just overwhelm the base. You will see, even I even missed the poison in this case, but the queen is just not gonna be able to deal with so many pups and minions.
Yeah. That's also why this attack is so flexible, right? Because you don't have to kill the queen with your queen walk.
I didn't even think about the queen. I mean, I like walking the queen, but in this case, it's just not needed.
Yeah. And of course, sometimes she's also, or usually she's also pretty heavily protected by like a bunch of trolley traps or whatever, and you can just avoid that with your queen walk.
Yeah, I can. Okay. But in this case, you can just, you see there is defenses on 11 o'clock and on 8 o'clock. So I like when there is such a compact defenses. I just like doing the Lalunian not clockwise or counterclockwise. I just like doing a Lalunian on both sides. So everything will crush the base at once. We can start the replay. I mean, always flow the hounds. Start now.
All right, start.
The hounds will flow through the Teslas. Target the Teslas surgically and the cannon. Minion everything, all of the safe zone, not behind the Lalunian, all of the safe zone. So you will not need to backtrack. As you can see, missed poison. So yeah, I'm not perfect, but it's fine. Yeah. And yeah, I will not need the second rage. Everything is just, there isn't enough damage. The defenses, air DPS just went down too quickly to do anything. It will fall short. It's not you that falls short on the base. The base just falls short on you.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
All right, so a swag rage by there as well. Very nice, and I think that was a great explanation. Anything you would want to add?
No, not really.
All right.
That's fine.
I have a couple more before we finish this TDH. I have a couple more sneaky questions which I didn't tell you about in the beginning. You need to answer them very quickly and intuitively. All right? So, the first one is probably pretty easy. Would you rather never use the TDH again or never use your line stickers again?
I will never stop using the TDH, so I will always stick to the TDH.
All right, so you would have to say bye to your line stickers if that were a choice you would have to make.
No. No one is touching my line stickers.
All right, so he's keeping both. All right. Would you rather vacation on a lonely island or in New York City?
In New York City. I always wanted to visit the US, so
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Would you rather fail yourself or have war whales lose?
I will never want war whales to lose. I mean, yeah, I will never want war whales to lose. It's Clash of Clans, not Clash of how much can TDH six back.
All right, that's pretty nice of you.
I know you're thinking of a certain someone when I say that, but you don't need to out their name.
I don't actually. Would you rather six-pack in the CWL final or win $500?
I don't want to even answer that. I mean, whatever happens, happens. So,
all right, yeah. We'll give you a buy on that one. Sorry for being sneaky in the end here. He wasn't expecting this, guys. And yeah, once again, thank you for being on. Any final words, shoutouts?
Shoutouts to anyone using the TDH attack, enjoying the TDH. I really enjoy watching that. Like I even see recaps of other clans, and it's just fun to see people wrecking bases with the TDH slash Queen Rambo Charge Lalunian, and yeah, keep killing it. As you can see, a super long 3-star streak, most likely the longest the game has ever seen, at least as far as the FPC goes, was achieved using this strat alone with 79 out of 90 fresh hits. So yeah, it's very solid. So master it and
You'll
have fun.
All right. I guess, guys, that's been sort of, I guess, the best final words one could have picked. This has been the best Townhall 9 in the game. Thank you for watching. Until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace out.